Shit talking
Putting
down.
that up. Just in time to catch Joe say, "Whoa, why is this? Oh God, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Everything is. Did you have the chat still up?
I did, but it's fine now. It's fine.
Amateur mistakes.
There's now.
Amateur mistakes.
It's everything is great. Ooh, and I need to push that button. So, welcome everybody to Apocalypse World, the Snowocalypse, or the story of how. What was it? A cultist, a nerd, a gearhead, and an exotic dancer walked into a bar, and then everything went to hell. So yes, this is the very first time that this group of us have done this together, so it's all going to be go awfully wrong. In fact, I can't wait for us to change the second overlay, and then for me to cry as I see it appear on stream in just terrible, terrible way. But yes, I will whip around and introduce all of my fine comrades for this evening, and well, I'll say their names and they can introduce themselves. They're grown-up adults. So first of all, if any of you ever watched my old Airships and Dragons stuff, you'll recognise two of these faces, but the first one I will say is Mr. Jonathan Catton. Say hi.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm joining sometimes Catonian chat, known to a select few as Nigel. I'm looking forward to actually having some scheduled sessions with this.
Yeah.
It should be hyped.
This was
Get hyped.
deceptively easy to schedule. I'm slightly worried that, yeah. Oh well. We'll see. We'll see how that turns out. Yes, also from the ill-fated Airships and Dragons is dear Jamie. Say hello.
Hi. Yeah, second appearance on the Mathin TV stream. Not a lot to say. Places, people, things.
Oh God, you've stolen Joe's joke. Now what will he say when he has to introduce himself? Well, let's find out right now. Joe!
Words of abandonment. I've nothing left to say in this
Words
world.
never change.
Anyway, I'm Joe, also known as Tekwa12, usually insulting Finbar's Dark Souls skills, because he is truly appalling.
Shut
Gonna
up.
be on the other side of the looking glass this time, which will be a bit weird.
That's gonna be fine. I'm gonna be your shepherd and your guide, because if I was trying to hurt you in this game, I'd win. I can at any point say rocks fall, you die. You can be outside, and I can say rocks fall, you die. And yeah, but I won't, because I'm looking forward to the kind of mayhem you'll bring upon yourself without me really having to do much. And then finally, someone who has never really appeared before on the stream, Chip. Say hello.
Hi guys! I'm quite excited to be the only girl here,
You're the diversity hire.
surrounded by guys, so yeah, I'm bringing in the equality here.
It's gonna be good.
Bringing in the equality.
Oh dear. Right, 1 second. Escapist. Okay. Compared to normal, I'm not going to be looking at chat very much because it's physically too much for me to think about while producing the stream and running one of these games and teaching these guys how to play. That's just impossible. But! Yes! The game we are playing is Apocalypse World, known for basically there's an apocalypse and all of the people in it are just awful and they will all try to kill each other and you for whatever they really want. There's literally rules in the book that say how people follow their stomachs, their hearts, and their clits and dicks. It's just populated with bad people. And into that, we introduce the worst of them, these four. So without any further ado, let's jump into kind of building our apocalypse. So, the thing we want to start with was, an idea was suggested by Johnny, that we have a kind of snowy, nuclear winter apocalypse thing. I mean, everyone at the time when I brought this up was like, yeah, okay, that seems cool, I'm fine with that. Does anyone have anything they particularly want to add? Because this is the point to kind of flesh out the world we all live in. Oh, I presume we want to be in post-apocalyptic England as well, Joe.
Yeah.
For certain reasons. We won't get into that. Okay, so nuclear winter, kind of wastelandy. Post-apocalyptic Britain. I'm not going to do that thing that happens in some sci-fi games and tabletop role-playing games where it's like, oh, you stumble across this strange box and it's got S-O-N-Y written on the bottom and a strangely coloured glass-like window. It just says it's TV. Because doing that stuff bores me. You're just going to have to be good players and act like your characters like, I've never seen this device before, or whatever. Because I can't be asked with the dancing around the plot point.
How long after the apocalypse are we setting this?
That's actually a good question. I mean, the rough, like, trajectory of Apocalypse World aims at about kind of the time zone before the apocalypse was near future, with kind of some psychic stuff, some slightly sci-fi technology, like everything the Brainer uses and everything the Sally Head can make. And then after the apocalypse, there is some of that stuff lying around, but mostly it's still just big sniper rifles and rocket launchers and that kind of thing. So the question is, like,
So
it
how
usually
many
aims about
generations
2
ago?
to 3 generations post. Like, maybe there's like 2 or 3 like 100-year-old odd people living somewhere who like, I remember the golden age. Like, what do we want to do with that? Do we want to be well past the apocalypse, like new societies have risen up and established themselves? Or do we want to be like, literally, all of your characters remember what it used to be like?
Now let's have no one has a clue.
No one has a clue? Okay. So
Oh.
yeah, you want to be like 4 or 5 generations since then. So if you find a cryo tube, that's about it. No one else will have a clue. Cool. Okay. I'm going to just make some notes and stuff while we go through. I'll do that a lot. But cool. Okay, so that's our apocalypse. Does anyone else have anything they particularly want to add to the world, like at the moment? It's snowy. Huh?
I've got a question.
Maybe.
I assume you're going to set out exactly how we all know each other, how we meet, something like that.
Oh yeah.
That's-
We'll work that out kind of in character creation, because it's, yeah, like there's literally a HX round that we do before we start playing, where we kind of define pre-existing relationships between the characters, whether any of you follow the religion that one of you is in charge of, or whether any of you have slept together, or other weird, more esoteric shit. I think one of the character classes that has been chosen can have just say, I have seen the truth of this person's soul. And that's just
Weird.
it's just a thing they've got. Cool.
Question: What
Yep.
is the levels of civilizations in general? Is there a lot of small towns, a few big towns, one town?
I think it's
what are we
like
looking at?
there's a couple quite large towns clustered around like almost old factories and stuff. It's basically machinery that is capable of heating a large place. I toyed with the idea of basing you out of like the Eden Project in Cornwall, because that would be cool, but I'm not going to go with that distance to lead. But yeah, I think there's probably going to be, at least you guys live in quite a large town, because your crazy heating machinery is run by the engineer. But I'd say probably most towns are a little bit smaller than the one you guys are in. There might be a few small outposts, but generally it's like you've got to live within a sort of confined, heated area, or you freeze to death at night.
Cool.
And just, yeah. Okay, so, yep. God damn it. Hopefully, that's shaking. Okay. So we're going to have about 5 generations, 5+ gen after apocalypse. Does anyone, do you guys know why the world is the way it is now? Like, I'm curious. Like, do you have an idea of what caused it, or is it just like, one day it was snowy as fuck? And that's how it happens.
What about like almost? I quite like the idea of it rather than just blowing up necessarily with nukes. Maybe something like I was thinking like volcanoes, like, and this was ash thing, like it
Okay.
almost blocked out the sun, and therefore
So like
everything got very
super
hot.
volcanoes happened, and then yeah, okay.
Yeah. Maybe Yellowstone, the one that's always
Yeah.
due, finally went.
Kind of yeah. Okay, cool. I like that. I'll put it down. Might tweak it along. Yes. Cool. Anyone else got anything they'd particularly like to chuck into the pot? Like, it can be related to the snow. It can be completely different. For instance, a game that was on Roll20, the Roll20 Twitch channel very recently had the world was flooded, but there was also this weird memory disease that made people forget everything that they knew for more than 5 years. So this can be related to the snow and the volcanic eruptions and such, or it can be completely off to the side and be how everyone nowadays requires large amounts of blood or they die, or I don't know, something weird. Literally have 2 characters based.
Face there.
Yeah, we have literally 2 characters based around their weird. So I feel like the two who are yeah. So I don't know. Does anyone have anything, or are we happy with just it being normal-ish people in the cold? Team.
Weird people. That's your call.
Yeah. Jamie, Joe, Chip. Johnny keeps just going meh. So come on. Oh, are you happy? I think that's it.
Do I look happy?
So involved, aren't we?
I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I was just like trying to find a link to the rules. So I'm like, shit. Ready
Oh
for
no,
character
this
development,
is
what's going
basically
on?
independent of rules. This is setting. So the only
Yeah, I know. I was
things
just
that
trying.
have to be there is that it has to be in an apocalypse, and there has to be a psychic maelstrom.
Okay,
Like
can there be a...
Game of Thrones style.
What?
Game of Thrones style, where it like becomes an eternal winter.
Okay, well, I mean, it pretty much is. It's been 5 generations. It shows no sign
There
of
you
stopping
go,
snowing.
It's like Game of Thrones.
It's like if the bad guys in Game of Thrones win. Okay.
Oh, okay. What
Don't
about
tell me spoilers.
if cannibalism's a thing?
I mean,
Just
like,
because, like,
I mean, I think there'd be some
Don't
place of,
always.
like, within the towns, it's probably not. There's, like, I mean, futuristic technology exists, so there's ways of creating food. You've kind of basically got, like, almost sci-fi food production of you get your bowl of tasty wheat out of the food processors. Like, bigger towns may have... No one's getting that Matrix reference? Okay. Yeah, and, like, it's kind of processed, like, proteins and such. I mean, if you're in a nicer town, they may be able to do fancy things, and if you're, like, important, you may be able to, like, get, I don't know, polar bear or seal, and actually have some people hunt for you. But I imagine, yeah, outside, like, in smaller communities, and, like, there's going to be raiders.
If
They're
there's
probably coming.
polar bears, and as Johnny's a driver, can he ride a polar bear?
oh, I want this. I want this
Well,
now.
you guys can try it. We'll make some rolls and we'll see what happens.
Okay, like on the back of that, what's wildlife like? Is it everywhere? Is it very rare that we'll see something like polar bear or seal?
Yeah, how rare are polar bears is essentially our question.
I don't know, actually. Like, I mean, this isn't... You guys can pitch in on
It's
this.
in the name polar bears. And
But yeah, now everywhere on the
eternal
planet
winter.
is the right
They're-
environment for polar bears.
They're perfectly adapted
yeah,
to
exactly.
the world.
I doubt all the polar bears were like, oh, look, it's cold everywhere. Let's fuck off and, you know, see the world. You know, are they there or are they not? You know.
I think there's probably more of the snowy creatures around. It might be like Lost, where you see a polar bear, it's like, well, polar bears don't live here, and then we never explain it ever. Because fuck you, Lost. Fuck you.
There are definitely reindeer.
Okay, yeah, we can have like a reasonable amount of wildlife, but I think it's a lot of things have to basically like hibernation overnight. Like a lot of the hibernating creatures may be slightly thrown because
Reindeers are going to hibernate overnight.
well, they have to find warm places because if they're outside, I generally think like if we're in a horrific nuclear winter where it's so cold that the world hasn't melted after 5 generations of time, then basically daytime is like cold and snowy and crappy, but nighttime is literally if you're outside and you don't have like a generator producing heat next to you, you're dead.
like the Ice Age.
Unless you've got some kind of crazy cold resistance thing.
So have elephants turned into woolly mammoths yet?
I guess we'll
Elephants
find out.
don't turn into woolly mammoths.
Evolution,
They do it
Chip.
snow apocalypse.
Chip, it gets snowy, and they
Evolution.
just start spinning around like a Digimon, and they become woolly mammoths.
They
Oh,
evolve.
God.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh god, this is gonna be weird. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think that's the state of like.
No,
Probably
no,
have
good question. Are we
Uh-huh.
calling them reindeer or caribou?
Caribou.
I don't even know what that
Wow,
reference
that's
is.
a little bit of like autism coming out, I think. Yeah.
What even is that? Okay. Let's just move swiftly on for that one. Let's do characters, I suppose. So, I'm going to push a button now, and then I'm probably going to groan. So, which one is it? It's 3. I can't actually see it yet. It's going to load on this little stream, and then I'm going to be really sad. But okay, we will start with... We've got
Wait.
3 pre-made characters. Well, no, 2 pre-made characters, 1 relatively strong concept, and 1 that hasn't really happened yet. So we'll start with my most experienced player, who's also played this system before, and we'll go through Johnny's character. So, if I pull up my handouts, and then I go to, where are you? Lux. Okay. So, these windows are awfully big. So yeah, we start with... Oh, why is that name not in there? And I have to scroll through my rules to the creating a driver section. So
I'm
you'll have...
still more concerned about the local ecology. So,
Well, you can tell us about that if you're that concerned. This isn't a game where I have to do all the setting stuff. If you just go, well, I mean, I have reindeer antlers above my fireplace because, you know, reindeer are a thing here, that's fine. It's up to
okay,
you.
reindeer can be the main food supply then.
Oh my god.
Like Finnish people, we rely on the reindeer.
Oh, good god. Okay, cool. So, creating a driver. So we already know your name is Lux.
Mhm.
Have you settled on a gender yet?
Lux McQuay, yes, Lux McQuay is a girl.
Okay.
So
Lux McCrae.
Lux McQuay.
Are you spelling that M-A-C-R-A-R-E?
M-C-C-R-A-A. C-R-A-Y.
McCrae. Gotcha. Okay. Right, into the look section. So, a female, do you have vintage wear, casual wear, utility wear, leather wear, or showy scrounge wear?
Definitely utility wear.
Okie doke.
It's fucking cold everywhere.
It's probably smart.
It's literally just like
Yeah.
full on Arctic
Because
wear.
we kind of work out you're like a courier slash
Yeah, no, basically
scavenger.
I am an outrider now.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's a full on like thing with kind of almost quite retro style goggles.
Right.
Like sort of with like two distinct kind of
You've got two different eyepieces.
two different eyepieces
Okay.
like on of the same length, but like they're separated rather than like a modern kind of full on shield thing.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Do you have a handsome face, a gorgeous face, a stern face, a fine-boned face, a worn face, or a crooked face?
I'm thinking probably handsome face.
Handsome.
Or
Like Boudica.
gorgeous actually probably makes more sense given it's a
I
woman.
mean, you could be like the historical descriptions of Boudica, riding your skidoo chariot into
You know what?
battle.
Yes, let's go it. Handsome face.
Handsome face. Oh, those windows look so wrong. Do you have cool eyes, hooded eyes, hard eyes, sad eyes, cold eyes, or pale eyes? Before we get into this, the ones of you who haven't gone through all this stuff yet, so I'm looking at Jamie and Chip, if you want to pull up the PDF of the rules I sent you,
Oh God, where's that?
it'll be back in our Facebook chat near the beginning.
Oh, it's actually on the Roll20 thing.
Is it?
Right?
Yeah, there's like peripheral moves.
Oh no, that stuff. No. This is the actual. In those PDFs, there's like the playbook of your character and how you build them from scratch.
Okay, can
If
you
you
link
go
us again?
I can't.
I can link it in a
Yeah.
second on the second person's character.
Okay, yeah. Johnny will link you because I can't touch anything, or it will all
I've
break.
already forgotten what I'm looking for, so that's probably a good idea.
Okay, you were thinking about the Skinner. We'll see.
Yes, I was thinking about Skinner.
Okay.
We have
Sorry.
an Arctic bunny population as well, Finbar.
Oh, good. I'm gonna get a list of notes from Joe in like a day. There's just be this long. It's like here's all the flora and fauna of the Snowocalypse. Okay, so do you have cool eyes, hooded eyes, hard eyes, sad eyes, cold eyes, or pale eyes? Did you say?
I didn't say. I was thinking probably cool eyes.
Cool eyes. How fancy. Okay. And finally, slim body, pudgy body, stocky body, solid body, tall body, or strong body.
Slim.
Slim.
I realize I have just gone like the first one in the list for like a couple of them. But
That's, yeah. Like the idea of the like skinny girl in the back, in like driving a tank around.
basically.
Yes. Okay.
It's a little bit. She's a little bit
Compensating?
Captain Fury from Fury Road.
Fair enough.
It's a little bit that, but like frozen.
Yeah.
In like huge amounts of like wool and
Yeah. And a
Very
giant fuck off Parker. Okay. So we get stats to explain this to both the
that's
newbies.
the link in our chat, by the way.
Yeah. So the new guys and also the audience, there are 5 stats in this game: cool, hard, hot, sharp, and weird. In order, cool is used to keep calm while in danger. The move is specifically called doing something under fire or acting under fire. The fire is kind of a loose term. The fire could be gunfire or a burning building, but it could also be the social obligations of sticking true to your word with your friend. It's very much your nerve as opposed to your actual how cool and sophisticated you are. Yeah. Your hard is your violence stat. When you threaten a person with violence, and when you, like, seize by force, whatever you're seizing, you use hard. And that is the stat that lets you hurt people. Almost... The current set of playbooks are all very, very bad at this. It's going to be fun. Hot is not so what's the word for misleading as cool. It literally is how hot you are. It's your looks, your social your charisma, your social currency, stuff like that. It's how you seduce people or manipulate them into doing what you want. That is what those moves are used for. Is you offer them stuff, promises or sex to make them do a thing. Yeah. Oh yes, I should put a warning here. This game is rated M for mature. There is every character class has a sex move. It's pretty, yeah, it can get a little heavy, as we have discovered in my
By
groups.
a sex move, what he means is not a move they do during sex, but in fact
a consequence. Yeah,
when they've had sex.
a consequence of sex, and they usually.
It's not like every character has an individualized, specialized sex move.
The fame, though. I'm not going to go into this joke. Sharp is kind of your senses and your emotional awareness. It allows you to read charged situations or read a person. Charged situations allow you to do things like, what's actually going on here? Where's my best escape route? A few other things like that. There's a list of questions predefined in the rules. And reading a person allows you to know when someone is lying to you, or like what they're really after, or how you can get them to do what you want. And finally, there is weird. And weird is one's capacity to open one's brain to the psychic maelstrom, or interact with it, depending upon your character class. And this is where it gets interesting. Everyone can do this kind of semi-psychic stuff. Not everyone should, as I think Johnny should avoid, well, Lux should avoid using her weird for a while, because she's rolling at -1. Yes, and with each of these stats, the way the moves work is you roll 2d6, you add the relevant stat, and then if your result is over 7, or 7 or over, sorry, you succeed. On a 7 to 9, it's a partial success, like you get what you want, but there's a cost. On a 10 to 12, it's a pure success and good things happen, but on a 6 or less, you fail, and I start fucking with you. I believe the agenda for the MC calls it responding with intermittent fuckery. Yeah. Cool. So yes, because Johnny is playing the driver, Lux's actual stat line is pretty poor at 1 cool, 0 hard, 0 hot, 2 sharp, and -1 weird. That's because when in a car, Lux is actually really shit hot at this kind of stuff. Yes, and you have taken the extra moves. My other car is a tank, and no shit driver. Yes. My other car is a tank, gives you a second car that is a tank, and no shit driver lets you do a bunch of cool things. So yes,
it's not quite a tank.
Yeah,
it's
a big truck with a giant grenade launcher and a bunch of spikes on it. But yes,
no, not a giant grenade launchers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's 2, man. And Finbar, we also forgot, and chat's mentioned it. We need Arctic foxes as well.
Okay. Lux, tell us all about your cars. Tell us about your babies.
So, I have 2 cars. I have one which is just my everyday car. I love it to bits. It's do you want me to do stat lines or
to give us a little bit of fluff and then I suppose stat lines.
It's basically it's what used to be like a little kind of hot hatchback. Is the chassis of the car basically. But basically the whole back half of it has kind of gone and has now just been replaced with a giant snowmobile track thing. And like the front wheels are now like skis things, and so it's literally it's a car snowmobile thing.
You took a VW and you turned it into a snowmobile.
I took a Golf, basically took a Golf, turned it into a snowmobile, and it's super fast. And it's what are
That's it. That's fast, uncomplaining, and quirky and cramped.
Basically, it's quirky because it looks fucking retarded because it's a car that's been turned into a snowmobile.
Seems reasonable.
and yeah, but it is very fast, and it's uncomplaining. It can do pretty much anything, but there isn't much space in it because I chucked out all the space for the snowmobile.
Seems reasonable. Yeah, it's your running around car as opposed to your hauling cargo car.
That's my fast, like, if I need to get somewhere quickly.
Cool.
And then my other car is basically, imagine a pickup truck, put it into Mad Max, so we've got all the plates and the spikes and everything in there. It's got full, like, armor plating on the back. The back bed is kind of like, it's got full plates on, it's got a roof on. But it's got half tracks on the side, so the back wheels are now mini tracks as well. Front wheels are still normal wheels, though.
Right. Okay.
This one, and it's
cool.
Yeah, it's off-road. It's super tough, but it's not exactly easy to maneuver.
Cool. Okay. I will do a little character introduction before we do the HX round, so we can keep that in mind. Let us move on to Tudor, the Hocus, as played by Joe. Gonna edit the glorious picture of that Joe has chosen to represent Tudor is now on stream. It's just so beautiful. So fucking stupid. Cool. Oh my god, your ridiculous bio is there. I'm gonna put a few spaces in. Flip to the Hocus playbook. Okay. So, from this list, we know your name is Tudor. I need you to pick, you are a man, a woman, ambiguous, transgressing, or concealed are your gender options as a Hocus.
I'm a man.
Okay. Do you have tattered vestments, formal vestments, scrounged vestments, fetish vestments, or tech vestments?
Formal vestments.
Formal. Okay, yeah, no.
Obviously, man.
Obviously. We'll get into your glorious story in a bit. Do you have an innocent face, a dirty face, a determined face, an open face, a severe face, or an ascetic face?
Let's go with severe.
Okay. Severe face. Do you have mesmerizing eyes, dazed eyes, forgiving eyes, suspicious eyes, clear eyes, or burning eyes? Burning with the flames of the weird.
Yeah, burning. Let's go with burning eyes.
Cool. These are just pointers for me to know who your characters are and stuff. And also, occasionally fan art gets done on these shows. Please God. I'll be so happy. And finally, do you have a bony body, a lanky body, a soft body, a fit body, a graceful body, or a fat body?
Wait, what were they again?
Bony, lanky, soft, fit, graceful, or fat?
Let's make my guy fit. Let's go for a change.
Okay.
I was so hoping you'd say graceful. Just for kicks.
I kind of wanted to.
Oh dear.
Joe, have a graceful body for once in your life.
Oh damn. Oh damn. Okay.
Don't start yet, yeah?
Right, we then have... So, the interesting thing, an important thing about the Hocus is where the driver has his car that makes him great, the Hocus has a cult. Tell us a little bit about your cult, will you, Joe?
Okay, my cult is in fact a court, right? Because my character, once upon a time, in the distant past, found a crown and was struck by visions that he was in fact a descendant of British royalty, and he is trying to return the land to the golden age of the British Empire.
It's gonna be...
So his followers are in fact a court of various people that have decided to buy into this idea of Pax
royalty.
Okay, and
God.
there are also various classes and skills about the community, but they're there, and they will be called upon whenever ready.
This is going to be so stupid. I can't wait. So the Hocus has specific moves based around their cult, where they roll the fortune of their cult at the beginning of a session. And depending upon how well they do, they either get benefits from it, or their cult wants for something. What are the wants of your cult again? Let's have a quick look. No, they're down here. Yes, judgment and desperation. So we get to pick which one, but if his court is judging him, that means that they know that he done fucked up, and they aren't letting him forget it in a hurry. And desperation is where they physically can't function without him. So it's a very codependent relationship between Tudor and his court. In the Tudor court. Oh god. Oh god. Please, whoever is doing that.
Perfect.
Where is that coming from? Joe.
No, I can hear it, so it's not me.
I thought I turned the mute thing on, but it didn't mute.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Smooth.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yes. So
It's interesting.
on a good one, however, the things that the Tudor court can grant Tudor is he can use a certain move called augury, which can do all kinds of crazy stuff using psychic powers. Yes, Raoul Ranma. The other two of you,
Doing it.
look at your character sheets, go through them, pick things so you're ready when I get to you. Got my eyes on you. Oh, and Johnny, I don't think you have equipment done, so you should pick that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. The other moves that the Hocus Tudor has taken are Frenzy, which allows, I believe it's when you speak truth to a mob, you can make them do a lot of weird things, including forcing them to fight for him as a giant rage mob, or bring people forward from the crowd to deliver you and such. It's going to be... Or just fall into an orgy of uninhibited emotion, such as fucking, lamenting, fighting, sharing, or celebrating, as the Hocus chooses. So, provided that Joe rolls well, or Tudor rolls well, I should say, he can just start an orgy in a large public place. Because he feels like it. Yep. The Hocus people. It's gonna be weird. And the other move he has taken is fucking Whacknut, which gives him one more weird, to bring him up to the maximum you can have of weird. And you have no equipment, because you are a crazy prophet, so all you have is some money.
I have oddments and adornments worth 2 barter. So my crown.
Yes. For context for the audience, barter is an abstraction of money. So 1 barter roughly equates to a month's good living, or certain cost of things, like a night of company with a practiced skinner, a week's protection by a bodyguard, a gunlugger, or a battle babe, or 1 successful assassination.
Knows precisely what she's worth right now.
I believe you also get 1 barter is traded with a Hocus for visions that come to pass. So there are 2 ways of playing the Hocus. One is this weird esoteric man who's actually in touch with the universe, and the other, more entertainingly in my part, is the person who makes predictions and then forces those predictions to come through so they get rich. It's gonna be gloriously stupid. Cool. Be nice, Jamie. Yes. Is there anything else particularly to say about? We'll go into the kinds of people you are in a bit. All the glasses come out. Cool. So...
Jamie just asked me if I look tired, and I was like, yeah, sorry, but I'm reading, and it's hurting my eyes, so glasses.
Apparently
Seems
I was
reasonable.
mean or something, I don't know.
No, you weren't being mean.
Bimbo was saying it.
Okay.
No, I saw.
Right. Let's do the Savvy Head next. And we'll leave the newest player to last. Because you've got So, for the audience briefly, Johnny has played both a lot of role-playing games with me and this system. Jamie has played some role-playing games, but not this system, and both Joe and Chip are utter newbies. But me and Joe had a 3-hour sit-down together where Joe asked me lots of questions about this ridiculous idea he's come up with. And it's going to be so silly. So very, very silly. Yes, Jamie. So, you are still happy with playing the Savvy Head? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Let me scroll down to the Savvy Head. So, does your Savvy Head have a name?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the name Stein.
Stein. Oh, no.
Is there a gate involved, Jamie?
No, that wasn't what I was going for.
A different Stein.
Yeah, well, there are multiple Steins that I could be referencing.
You're
Yeah.
referencing a drinking stein as well, I guess.
Cool.
For the sake of character development, I'm not basing it off any one, so we'll leave it there.
It's many Steins.
You've got steins from all areas, and
Picking and choosing from the different animus.
Or
Okay.
Yeah, I could just be lazy and have a personality complex.
Oh, God. So, Is Stein a man, a woman, ambiguous, or transgressing?
Man.
Man. Okay. Do you have utility wear? Oh, utility wear plus tech, scrounge wear plus tech, vintage wear plus tech, or just straight up tech wear?
Straight up tech wear.
Okay. Rolling around in kind of weird, not quite cybernetics, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting image. A plain. Do you have a plain face, a pretty face, an open face, or an expressive face?
Give me those options again.
Plain, pretty, open, or expressive?
We'll go plain.
Plain. And then are your eyes squinty, calm, dancing, quick, or appraising? Be like Spectre. Be greedy as fuck.
Let's go quick.
Quick eyes. Oh. Plain face. Cool. Right, save changes. You should now be able to see your character sheet in the handout section, by the way.
Let's look.
So, Stein.
Fine. Got it.
As the savvy head, already locked in. Fantastic. Okay. So, you have to pick from those four a stat block. So you're always going to be weird, but have you picked one from these 4 lines?
Yeah, I did. Sorry, it's the second option. So just to confirm that, it's cool 0, hard -1, hot -1, sharp +2, wit. Oh wait, hold on, that's not the one I wanted. Sorry. Third option. Cool.
Oh,
cool +1.
Cool 1.
Hard -1.
Yep.
Hot 0. Sharp +1.
Sharp.
Weird +2.
Sharp 1. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, so you're pretty rounded. Still bad at violence.
Yeah, I figured that from the get-go.
I just looked at chat. That was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that. Okay. So, you begin as a savvy head. You begin with a workspace.
Yes.
Which is your kind of workshop, garage, whatever. You have to pick 3 things from the list of having a garage where you can work on cars, a dark room, a controlled growing environment, skilled labour, where you get basically the service of 3 people to help you out and be your crew, a junkyard of raw materials, a truck or van, weird-ass electronica, machining tools, transmitters and receivers, a proving range, a relic of the golden age past, or booby traps.
Okay, and I get to choose 3, yeah?
Yes, you have to pick 3 of those.
Okay. I'm going to have a junkyard of raw materials.
Cool. I will put this in class moves, work, space. I will add the big list of fanciness you can do to roll 20 another time. But so you have junkyard of raw materials.
Yep. Weird-ass electronica.
Weird-ass electronica. Bear in mind, in regards to the garage thing, like without the garage, you can't really build like large enough projects or work on cars particularly. But I mean, if you do, we can go into the fictional thing of maybe you built the driver's cars. You guys have a very obvious relationship if you have a garage, because when the driver's cars break, or when he wants a new one that is way better than anything his character sheet can generate, you can be like, hi.
Okay, so...
It's up to you. I'm just letting you know the possibility exists.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I do need workspace.
Yeah, like otherwise you're working on things that are a bit smaller in scale. But if you want to build like vehicles,
yeah, I need tools as well. Though is the thing. Otherwise, I'm going to be very limited in what I can do.
You've got like you have like basic tools. Is machining tools is like kind of industrial production almost. I would think. People in the chat can disagree with me.
Okay, so in which case we'll go with a junkyard of raw material, weird-ass electronica, and a garage.
Garage. Cool. I just did that. The rest of this is detailing the move, the workspace move, which is a really cool move. So I'm just going to read this one for the benefit of people. So it's, when a savvy head goes into their workspace and dedicates themselves to making a thing or getting to the bottom of some shit, decide what and tell the MC. Me. The MC will tell you, sure, no problem, but, and then 1 to 4 of the following options. It's going to take hours, days, weeks, or months. First, you'll have to get/build/fix/figure out something. You're going to need someone to help you with it. It's going to cost you a fuck ton of jingle, which is money. The best you'll be able to do is a crap version, weak and unreliable. It's going to mean exposing yourself and colleagues to danger. Serious danger, in fact. You're going to have to add blank to your workspace first. It's going to take several dozens, several or dozens or hundreds of tries, and you're going to have to take something apart to do it. Importantly, to add here at this point is that character sheets in Apocalypse World are both described as they're both prescriptive and descriptive. So, for instance, you start with these things, but if at some point you say, "I move into this larger building," or I don't know, like what it's yeah, I harvest like an old hospital, and then you will just acquire life support machines. So you can add things to your workspace outside of like normal advancements by just fictionally in the game going to a place and taking the shit you need. I think there's also methods in the Savvy Head advancements to get you more stuff for your workspace.
Yeah, there is.
Cool. Alright, you then have to choose 2 of the Savvy Head custom moves.
Yes, I'm going to go with Things Speak.
Glorious.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that. God, moment of choice, moment of truth there.
While you're thinking, for context for the people, Things Speak is a Savvy Head move that lets the Savvy Head examine an object and, using kind of psychic abilities, know a bunch of things about it, including who handled it, who made it, the strong emotions that have been near it, that kind of stuff. And it also, if bad things happen, it's equivalent to opening your brain to the Psychic Maelstrom and fucking it up, and that's where I get to be weird.
I'm toying with Reality's Fraying Edge.
Reality's Fraying Edge.
I'm not sure how useful that can be. I mean, as the GM, that's kind of like down to
well,
you.
the Augury move. So Reality's Fraying Edge gives you access to the Augury move by some combination of shit in your workspace. Yeah. We'll have to define what that is because it will be valuable to you in some way.
Yeah.
And like if it breaks, I've seen this done with people as the antenna before. It's like there's some fancy equipment and I hook this person up to it. Basically, Cerebro is my antenna with Xavier in it. But yeah, Augury is weird. Like the moves that will be useful entirely depends on how you guys push this game forward. Like I will do my best to respond to what you're giving me. But yes, Reality's Fraying Edge, like Augury is a really fun move that does some really strange things with the Maelstrom. Whereas opening your brain is taking in information, Augury is putting stuff in the Psychic Maelstrom or manipulating psychicness to give you kind of psychic powers.
So that kind of goes with Things Speak in the way that if anyone else tries to like sort of tap into the Maelstrom, I can sort of sabotage it.
It also means that both you and the cultist, the Hocus, have you both have access to the Augury move, which means you can kind of fight each other or work together in some way to like cross purposes with this stuff.
Finbar, but Augury's divination, so that's looking at things.
Yeah, so the Augury move. Actually, I don't have to pull this up on here. If you look at the peripheral moves, Augury is in there. So you can choose one. Reach through the world's psychic maelstrom to something or someone connected to it. Isolate and protect a person or thing from the world's psychic maelstrom. Isolate and contain a fragment of the world's psychic maelstrom itself. Insert information into the world's psychic maelstrom, or open a window into the world's psychic maelstrom. And let the weird into the real world. So, this is like world end. You could cause a second apocalypse if you do this, like, well enough. If, for instance, you made it... If you opened a window into the world's psychic maelstrom, made it, like, stable... make it persist and make it reach deep, you just let, like, the horrors of the warp through a Stargate into the real world.
Could you do that in combat?
No. So the only way you can do this is use... Well, unless you're fighting in your garage, because you require your antenna, which is some combination of stuff in your workspace.
Can it not be mobile?
Probably not. It would... The way it's described is like it's this stuff, like, lined up in your workspace. I mean, if you use the workspace move to make your antenna mobile, sure, but it would probably require, like, some kind of convoy of vehicles. It's a little tricky.
I'm going to take Reality's Fraying Edge purely because it's going to be fun, and we'll talk about exactly what I did.
Yeah. Okay. So realities, fraying edge. Cool. So here's something for you to think about then, while we're moving on to Chip's character. Is actually we have to do equipment first, but yeah, is what is it in your workspace that lets you do this? Like, what kind of thing does it look like? Like you've got like this scrapyard at the back, and you've got a bunch of like weird like advanced circuitry, and you've got a garage to work on cars connected to it. But like this psychic antenna, like what is it made of? Is it like some relic from the before times? Is it a bunch of just random crap has to be put in, like, basically you can make like a demon summoning circle of machines, and that lets you use augury? You can pick there.
I think it's going to be a sort of old-fashioned sort of cross between a sundial and a compass. It's heavy. It's about just bigger than like the average size of the fist.
Mm-hmm.
Think. Oh God, I'm trying to put an image on it.
Okay. Well, think about it.
I can't think of one, but that's what I've got so far.
Okay, so sorry, there's a question I should have asked everyone actually. But so you can at this point detail your personal fashion. Like, how does what is it, Stein dress? Is it like a lab coat covering up this weird like cybernetic suit, or what? How do you look?
I like the idea of sort of a frayed white coat that is just covered in like grease, dust, and sort of like jeans and a plain black vest underneath.
Jeans.
Obviously cybernetic parts underneath.
Yes. Accented with cybernetics. We'll have to work out, like, do you have basically like kind of a little hat that like flips up glasses and stuff and to look at strange things? Just it responds to your thoughts. That's like where your weird comes in, but it's all like kind of odd and a bit janky looking because it's made out of like 6 different machines that you've harvested from your scrap heap.
Yeah, I like that. Sort of like a visor that flips down.
Yeah, like visors that flip down. Like maybe like it hands you tools and stuff as you're working, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like a utility headset.
Yeah. You also have 3 barter you start with. A thing for you to maybe think about is like how you accept payment for being a savvy head. Like, you don't have to necessarily say that, but like, do you accept payment in fuel to keep your machines running? Or is it in like more cool parts? Or is there money in this town? That's stuff you might want to think about. You also get to pick 3 pieces of normal gear or weaponry from the characters and their crap section of the book. So you can have like shotguns or stuff like that. I'll let you look at that while I'm doing Chip's character. But if you go down to characters and their crap, which is on page... Oh my god, I can't find the contents. It is apparently on page 235 of the PDF, because this PDF is laid out in a slightly weird way.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Are you people reading the chat? As they're discussing my card.
No one is reading chat.
You're not
at
meant to
all.
be reading chat.
You need to be concentrating on the show, Finbar.
Okay. Also, actually no, you don't have to, Joe, because you don't have anything. You have no worldly possessions. But you should be looking at your like gear stuff. I'm pretty sure the driver gets
I've already done it.
Of course you have.
I'm ready when you are.
All right, Chip. She who is brand new. Let's do this thing. So, you still want to play the Skinner?
Yes.
Cool. So, for context for people, the Skinner, where the driver has a car, the Hocus has a cult and is a bit of a fucking weirdo, the Savvy Head is kind of psychic and a machinist and stuff like that. The Skinner is... There's several ways of looking at them, and almost all of them are simultaneously true. They are the person who's still, like... They are the shiny thing in a horrifically fucked up world. Like, the book describes them as, like, there's still, sounds that aren't just people dying, but actually music. There's still food that isn't death on a stick. They are the reasons to keep going, as opposed to just existing. That everything nice in the world is in the hands of the Skinner. And you have to give them a good reason to share it with you. They also have a lot of sex. Because they're basically the most attractive people alive. Like, essentially you're the A-list celebrity. Like, think of all of the hot women in the tabloids. You are all of them because there's only one of you. Yeah, that's the Skinner. So it's quite an interesting class. We'll see how it works out. But yes, do you have a name for your character yet?
Yes, Midnight.
Midnight. How fancy.
So mysterious.
Why is that not capitalizing the M? There we go. Okay, Midnight. Right, bio and info. Are you a man, a woman, ambiguous, transgressing, or androgyny?
A woman.
Woman, okay. For your wear, is it display wear, showy scrounge wear, luxe wear? Luxe is like the abbreviation of like luxury stuff.
Yeah.
Fetish wear or casual wear? I just
I'm
love
gonna go with Luxwear.
Luxwear. Oh, ain't you just?
Because I want to be like a list celebrity kind of Skinner.
Okay.
Why does no one ever go fetish wear? Like...
No one. It's just no one wandering around in an armored corset, as gets described in the book. It's like, yeah, this brainer survives the impact of the shotgun blast because the armored corset they're wearing holds their organs together. It's like, for fuck's sake, Vincent Baker, you weirdo. Okay, is your face striking, sweet, strange, cute, or beautiful?
Just because of the nature of the character, I'm gonna go with beautiful.
Cool.
Because why the fuck not?
Yeah, it's fine. I could make a really mean joke, but I'm gonna not.
Yeah, we all
Don't
could.
you dare.
You just made it by not making it.
I said
You could've just
nothing.
not said anything.
You made it by saying he's not gonna make it.
Yeah, tell you
So he
disclaimer.
managed to be insulting without being funny.
Disclaiming responsibility. It's part of my agenda as the MC.
Yeah.
Okay, are your eyes laughing, mocking, dark, shadowed, troubled, arresting, bright, or cool?
Gotta be mocking, surely.
Just a...
I'm gonna go with shadowed.
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 I don't actually know what that kind of means. Is that like literally your brow sticks out a much, or is that like over amounts of makeup, or what does that even mean? I don't know.
I've
You'll
got it in terms of like a darkened like kind of thing.
you
I don't
can
know.
give us like a more accurate overall picture of Midnight in a bit, if you so desire. Does Midnight have strong hands, expressive hands, quick hands, calloused hands, or steady hands?
Quick hands. There's no euphemism in there whatsoever.
For fuck's sake, Chip. I did see someone in a game he did like the nicest, like most unsuited to the apocalypse character ever as a Skinner, and then took calloused hands, and he because of this memory thing, he had no idea why his hands had calluses, and it freaked him out. And then someone like a brainer read his mind and discovered that like he like back in the day was like a hard labourer, and also just got an image of him choking his own brother to death using them. It was like, and he described it as like, and you just see those calloused hands around. It was like, holy fuck, that's messed up.
Hey.
Yeah, Apocalypse World. Nothing is nice here. Everything is horrible. Right, and finally, is your body slim, toned, fat, unnatural, young, or lush?
Wait, what's unnatural mean?
I assume that means like kind of limbs are too long and like everything just you look kind of alien as a everything's just a bit off.
You say they look elvish.
No, the person who possibly gets closest to that, I think, in real life, is she's very attractive. Is probably Tilda Swinton, because that lady, she just Google her, you'll know who I mean. But she's she has been given in previous games just the perfect example of some of these kind of more strange characters.
I'm gonna go with tone.
Toned.
Is that something I will never achieve in real life?
Your words, not ours. Cool.
It's only because you wanted to say them first.
Okay, so we have Midnight, the classiest Skinner, in the fanciest wear. Okay. So put in your name. Right. You have to choose a stat line, my dear. Do you want to ask what any of them do again? I realise it's been like nearly an hour since I first went through them. That's fine.
Yeah. I don't really know.
Okay.
I'm really good at this, aren't I?
That's fine. Like, it's
The
basically
bottom line looks good, so
cool.
like the one that's like cool +1, hard +1, hot +1, sharp +1, weird -2.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's fine, like, every other character... Oh, well, there's 2 other characters who are definitely the weird guys, so you could be a grounded person in comparison to them, and have, like, weird -2.
Oh god, Chip's gonna be the grounded one.
I'm not gonna be the weird one, yes!
Yeah,
No,
like...
no, to be fair, I'm probably also going to be fairly grounded.
Yeah, the driver has weird -1. You can have weird -2, which is, like, the antithesis of weird.
Yeah, go for it. Let's have weird -2.
Okay, so that is the last stat line. So that gives you cool +1, hard +1, which I think also means you're the hardest. You're the most used, like, the most used to and best at violence of the group, essentially. You have hot +2, because you're a Skinner. You get sharp +1, which means you're reasonably perceptive. And you have weird -2, so you are really bad. Oh, I have tipped experience for you, because I was experimenting with the sheets. Cool. Yeah, you're really bad at anything psychic. Like, to not be in the intermediate success range, you have to roll double 6 on a weird roll. Okay. So then we have to pick 2 Skinner moves for you. So have you been reading these and got an idea of which ones you want?
You know what? This is like the only thing I haven't actually read.
Good. Okay.
I skipped this one for some reason.
Okay, so you can either take... The options are breathtaking, which gets you +1 hot, which, yeah, is literally like, you will never fail a hot roll ever, and you will always be able to seduce and manipulate people.
I like the sound of that one.
There is a lost, which, unfortunately, with the stat line you just took, if you want to go back...
I was going to say, it won't work, will it?
Sorry?
It's like,
well, yeah, I mean, you could, if you want to, and you like the sound of this move, we're in character creation, so you can go back and change your stat line for a different one if you so desire. But, yeah, this one is, you whisper a person's name to the psychic maelstrom, and then roll +weird. On a hit, they come to you, with or without any clear explanation of why. On a 10+, you get to take +1 forward with them, so you would then have advantage, essentially, when trying to manipulate them after you summoned them to the middle of fucking nowhere. On a miss, I get to ask you your 3 questions of your character, which you must answer truthfully. Yeah. Also, this is the thing about opening your brain to Psychic Maelstrom. No matter whether it succeeds or fails, I get to just ask random shit about your characters. And it will be the most trivia crap I can think of. So, you know, be prepared to improvise. Yeah.
So, Finn, I've got a random bug in the War20, so I'm just going to have to leave and rejoin it. May screw up cameras.
Oh, good. I'm just going to then... oh, it's fine. The cameras are... Yeah. The names underneath will change. You guys will just have to deal with it. Okay, so you can take Artful and Gracious. So when you perform your chosen art, any act of expression or culture, or when you put its product before an audience, you roll +hot. On a 10, you get to choose 3 of these. On a 17, you choose another. But the list is, of an NPC in the audience, you can say, this person must meet me. They must have your services. They're now in love with you. They must give you a gift. Or this person admires your patron. Whoever that may be. And on a miss, there's actually no downside to missing this roll. It's just, you're fine. So you physically cannot be bad at your chosen art. Which I find amusing in the skin. It's like, it's, no matter how bad your dice roll is, it's just like, it whelms. It's not even underwhelming, it's just like, okay. That was nice. I don't feel any strong emotion about it. There's the move that always seems to get people on the arresting...
We discussed this one, didn't we?
Yes. An arresting Skinner. When you remove a piece of clothing you own, or someone else's, no one who can see you can do anything but watch. So, if Midnight the Skinner took off her jacket as she walked into a room, everyone in the room would have to be like, hmm. You can exempt people by name from this move, but then again, why would you ever? Okay. And finally, Hypnotic. When you have time and solitude with someone, they become fixated upon you. Roll +hot. Depending on how well you do, you get to choose some of these. You gain hold over a person. They can spend your hold, 1 for 1, by giving you something you want, acting as your eyes and ears, fighting to protect you, or doing something you tell them to. While for NPCs, while you have hypno hold over them, they physically cannot act against you. If you manage to hypnotize a player character, which you can do as long as if you are in a scene with just one player character for an extended period of time by yourself. You just say, "I hypnotize Tudor, the crazy man." They have extra things. PCs can try and spend the hold 1-for-1 by so while doing something, they can distract themselves with the thought of you by choice, which means they have to act under fire, where the fire is basically, how do I resist this boner? Or they inspire themselves with the thought of you and take a +1 to it. From there, it's kind of your duty as players to treat that as if, like, when you get back, you're like, holy crap, the reason I got through that was the thought of midnight. It's like, that's how we build into the fiction from there. Like, you guys kind of, you can hypnotize them, which basically just makes, if things go to some ways, makes them fall in love with you. On a miss, however, they get to hold over you on the exact same terms. Cool. So, do you have some preferences?
Yes, I think definitely an arresting Skinner.
Okie dokie. I love this move. It's so silly. It is indeed the art of seduction, Meg.
Yes.
Damn it, chat. And your second one?
And Hypnotic.
Yes. Everyone loves Hypnotic, because it's fucking hilarious. Okay. I will add the big description in when I can go around all the screens without fucking everything up. Cool. And we'll do your equipment to get as a group before we then break, and then we'll do HX and get started because, yes, we've been going for a little over an hour. So, you get 1 gracious weapon, 2 Lux gear, oddments worth 1 barter, and fashion suitable to your look. So, have you got the Skinner thing open in front of you?
Yep.
So you can see the gracious weapons.
Yep.
Which are just all great. I love all of these. They're so silly. Especially the sleeve pistol.
Yeah.
Just go full Django.
I like the look of the sleeve pistol. It's very Django Unchained.
Yeah. Yeah, sleeve pistol, ornate dagger, hidden knives, an ornate sword, or an antique handgun. The fun part is that you have these graceful weapons that don't look like they're ready for combat, yet are better at using them than anyone else is at using weapons, except for Lux and her grenade launching pickup. She's really good with that.
It's a lot of fun.
No, I'll go with antique handgun.
Antique handgun. Okay.
Just because it sounds cool.
Okay. So, like, have a think about what that might... Is that, like, jewel-crusted, or is it just really, really old?
Like,
or
proper old-school Pirates of the Caribbean style handguns.
Oh, so you've got... Oh, Jesus.
Flintlock pistol.
You've got, like, a flintlock.
Amazing.
Jesus, amazing.
How retro.
Flintlock. Okay, I have made a note of that. Okay, you get to then choose 2 Lux gear. So I will read this out for the audience, unless you already know exactly what you want.
I already know what I want.
Hit me.
I want a long, gorgeous coat and spectacular tattoos.
Cool, cool, cool. Is the long, gorgeous coat like a fur one, or... Are you wearing polar bear? It's so in season right now.
A polar bear coat trimmed with fox, Arctic fox.
Oh, God.
It was
An
more
Arctic-
sort
Arctic
of
bunny.
the Matrix leather, like black leather.
Oh,
That's even better.
Yes.
Ignore our ideas.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Okay.
Like a proper
I'm literally going to note this
Maltese.
as Matrix leather. Okay, and the spectacular tattoos, like...
Just all over the fucking place. Just like really awesome designs all over the fucking place. There's nothing specific, just like...
Just lots and lots of images.
Yes.
Like the idea of if ever you do roll weird, it's just like you consult your tattoos, and like the maelstrom like makes them come alive to tell stories and stuff.
Yeah, like why the fuck not?
I mean, you will never roll weird unless you're insane. Then again, it's just like you roll weird, you fail, a shark leaps off your arm and tries to eat your face. Finn does fucking love this game. Cool. Right. Okay, cool. So that leaves us in the HX chapter. So we will take a quick break, and then we'll get back and we'll actually get started with all this. Yeah.
By the way, I took the 9mm.
Do you have a 9mm? Jamie, have you looked at your equipment at all? Just so we get a last thing before we fade out.
How many things do we get?
You get 3 of stuff from the normal gear or weapons, I believe.
Is that under common firearms and other weapons?
Yes, that will be.
Yeah, I want a hunting rifle, many knives, and a stun gun. No,
Okay.
You get 3 weapons?
Yeah, he can literally take... Because, I mean, he might never use these weapons. They might just be lying around in his workshop waiting for him to take them apart and build them into something else. The Savvy Head gets a lot of stuff because they need a lot of... Because I can literally at one point you go, I want to build this. And I go, it will cost you 12 barter. Because I'm a...
Yeah.
Like, the Savvy Head needs a lot of money to do their thing. Yeah, so, yeah, it's any personal piece or 3 of normal gear or weaponry. So there's also a gear section for, like, cars and shit like that.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'll have a look in a minute. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've got a hunting rifle...
sleep pistol, and many knives.
Cool. If you make a note of that, if you go onto a character sheet in the handout section, there's the gear and barter bit. So you should already have 3 barter in there. If you note down those things, and we will take a break. So, I'm going to mute these fuckers. Say bye! Fuck them. And we're going to move over to this screen. That's the right screen. And then I'm going to hit play on this music. I'll be back.